Hi, Bill Knapp from Bill Knapp Blog, coming to you from my wife's studio in our home in the mountains of Colorado. As you know, my wife is a sculptor. I know that's a brazen, advertisement, but that's okay. But I'm standing here because this is a picture that she uses as one of her references for a deer sculpture that she just finished. And this is the actual size of the sculpture. She worked on it for 4 months. And when she was done, she asked me if I'd be kind enough to take it down to the foundry so that it could be cast. No problem. It was on a piece of plywood. Well, I got the next door neighbor, he and I put it into our trailer, and I secured that plywood like you wouldn't believe so that this thing was not going to budge. I mean, it's made out of clay, 200 and some pounds. I don't know if you can see, but you can't see on this, but there are 2 poles that hold it up. That's the support for this. Why is this important? Well, you'll find out. So, it takes me 20 minutes to get down our very rough dirt road to get to the asphalt. Another 5-10 minutes to get to town. I took 1 hour and 15 minutes driving down the road so slowly so that this deer would be all right. I got down to the bottom of the hill, pulled into my coffee shop, and this deer was now this size, maybe about that size. The whole thing had collapsed. The ears were broken off, the legs were broken. It was a disaster. I couldn't understand what happened until I realized that the 2 support posts, the foundation on which my wife had set her sculpture, were held in by these tiny little screws. That piece of plywood would never move because I had secured it so tightly. But if your foundation is weak or wrong, you're not going anywhere. Next point about this thing, and this is my hats off to her. 4 months she worked on this. What we did was, she came down the hill, I opened the back of the trailer, and I showed her what happened. To my surprise, she said, I can fix that. So we went over to our friend's house, Bob and Diane, who were gracious enough to let us use their studio, and she spent 2 days, 6 o'clock in the morning till about 10:30 at night, working on this thing, putting it back together again, and got it to the point where we were able to get it molded, and it's now at the foundry being cast. What 2 great lessons. Number 1, if your foundation's not strong enough, you're not going to go anywhere. And number 2, if you look for the solution and expect success, you're going to get it. This is Bill Knapp from SpeakerBillKnapp.com, coming to you from my wife's studio. Until the next time, please live in abundance and with unbelievable amounts of gratitude.